Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Detroit Tigers franchise here on Cardboard Cutouts. And today we're going to be heading on to our AAA affiliate, the Toledo Mud Hens, as they open their season. So let's jump right into it as Miguel Montano strides in for his first AAA and professional at-bat of his career. So let's see what he can do with a man on and no outs. He has a 1-0 count, and he sends a sharp line drive to right, and that's going to get down. The runner is going to advance to second, and that is Montano's first hit in his first at-bat of his career. What a good start for him this early. So, Eric Haas is going to come up next. He is first pitch swinging, and that's going to bloop in there as the runners advance to second and third, and we're going to have the bases loaded with no outs. Next up is hopefully our first baseman of the future, Nick Ames. He's also first pitch swinging, and that's going to get called an infield fly. That's going to be out number one. Next up is Aramis Aidman. He is our trade from last year for Boyd. We're hoping for a good year out of him as he's a potential September call-up, but here he swings through strike three for out number two to keep the bases loaded. That'll bring up Bryant Packard, one of our top position players, and he sends a ball to center field, sharply hit. One run's going to score, second run's going to come around, and that is not in time as Montano scores to give the Mud Hens a 2-0 lead. So Tarek Skubal gets the opening day nod here for the Mud Hens, and he's facing Ronaldo Gill here, 0-2 count, and he swings through for a quick out number one and the first strikeout of the day. Next up, Gibraltar Jimenez is up, 0-2 count, and he also swings through strike three down in the dirt. Haas will flip down to second for another quick out in the second strikeout today for Skubal. That'll bring up Nick Prado here, a 1-0 count, and the pitch, and he hits a line drive to center, but right at Badu, and that will end the first, a quick 1-2-3 inning for Skubal to start the day. On the top of the third, Montano steps in for a second at-bat of the day, and he's just going to send a slow roller down to third. That'll be fielded and flipped to first for an out number one. Now, on to the bottom of the fourth, and Skubal has just been cruising here as Jimenez steps in for a second at-bat of the day. He sends a liner to the left. That's going to get down, and that's going to get by Bryant Packard, roll all the way to the wall. Badu will chase it down, and Jimenez is going to have himself a leadoff double. Next up, Nick Prado, 2-2 count, and he sends a grounder to short. That's fielded, flipped on to first, and the runner has to hold at second. Next up, Suli Matis is up, and 1-1 count, and the runner's actually stealing there, so he'll take third, but the play will be made at first for out number two, a chance for Skubal to get out of this. As Reyes steps in, 0-2 count, and he is going to send an easy pop up to first, and Skubal gets out of there with no runs allowed. On to the top of the fifth now as Montano stands in for his third at-bat of the day, and he sends a line drive to left center, and that is deep, and that is over the outstretched glove of the left fielder, and Montano's going to cruise into second for his first extra base hit of his young career. However, there is two outs here, and Eric Haas will stride into bat now. 1-2 count, and he's going to send a grounder to first. That'll be fielded and stepped on, and that will end the fifth inning. So, on to the bottom of the fifth now. Bobby Witt Jr. is up to bat, 0-0 count, and he sends a liner to right, but Miguel Montoya lays out and makes the play. Bobby Witt Jr. has amazing speed, and Montoya took a hit away. Next up, Jimmy Govern, 0-2 count, and he looks at strike three for two outs here in the fifth. And then after a single, MJ Melendez will come in, and he'll send an easy fly ball to left, and that will end the inning. So on to the bottom of the sixth, Nick Prado is up to bat. Tarek Skubal is a little bit of trouble, but it looks like he's going to get a double play on to second, on to first, and he does. The runner will advance to third, but there is now two outs. Let's see if he can get out of this jam. As Matias stands in, 0-2 count, and he's going to send a fly ball to center field. Akil Badu is going to chase that down. The run doesn't score again, and that's the end of the inning. So, on to the top of the seventh. Yariel Gonzalez is batting ninth, and he was our lone participant in the Futures games, and he's going to send a ball deep to right. If that stays fair, it's gone. And a little bit of hesitation, and yes, that one does stay fair. Gonzalez hits a two-run shot here to put the Mud Hens up 4-0. Now, he's batting ninth, and I'm to start the year, but I'm sure that he'll move up. So after a rain delay stops the progression of the 7th inning, Brian Garcia is going to come into pitch now, and there's one out here. His first batter will be Bobby Witt Jr., and he gets him to chase strike 3 for out number 2. Next up, Jimmy Govern, and he is going to send a easy pop-up to shortstop. Aidman's going to camp underneath of that, and that's going to be out number 3 and end the 7th. So we're going to jump ahead to the bottom of the 9th, and Merle Sanchez will make his AAA debut here as well. First up is Gibraltar Jimenez, and he has a 1-0 count, and he's going to send an easy fly ball to very shallow left center. Aidman camps underneath of it, out number 1. Now next up is a 3-hole hitter, Nick Prado. He is 0 for 3 on the day, and he's going to send a ground ball to second base. Montano ranges over, jumps and throws to first, out number 2. Matias will stand in next as the last hope, 1-0 count, and he sends a line drive to left, and that is going to drop in, and Omaha will have a base runner here with 2 outs. So that will bring in Arias here as now the last chance. 0-2 count, and he swings through strike 3, and the Mud Hens are going to win 4-0 to open the season. So Tarek Skubal is going to get the win and the player of the game, going 6 1/3, only allowing 3 hits and 6 strikeouts. And the only thing that really stopped him was the weather. Now, another good thing to see is Miguel Montano opened his career going 2 for 4 with a double and a run. Not a bad way to start. So after this game, we're going to jump back to the MLB level, and we're going to jump into this game here against the White Sox. Number 1, because we're going to go for the series win, and also Matt Manning is making his season debut, and also as important is Nelson Cruz is making his Tigers debut here. He's going to bat DH in the 3-hole. And we are going to go against Joey Murray, who's making his Major League debut. So Victor Reyes will be the first to face him on a 2-1 count and the pitch. And he is going to send a grounder to second. That will be fielded, flipped on to first for a quick out number 1. So Willie Castro, who moved from the 3-hole to the 2-hole, is up to bat now on a 0-2 count. And he sends a line drive to short, and that will get snagged for a quick out number 2. Now, Nelson Cruz will stride in and for his first at-bat with the Tigers, and he's first pitch swinging and sends a hard ground ball to the left side of the infield, and Nelson Cruz is going to get his first hit with the Tigers. Next up, Wilson Ramos, and he gets frozen by a fastball, strike 3 to end the first inning. So on to the bottom of the first, Matt Manning is on the pitch, facing D. Strange Gordon, who he actually faced in his first outing with the Reds. So he's gonna get him to ground out to first, flipped on to Manning, who runs and covers first for out number 1. Next up, Adam Eaton with a 2-2 count, and he's also going to hit a ground ball to first. That will be fielded, flipped on to Manning, who runs and covers again, out number 2. That'll bring up the dangerous hitter Jose Abreu, 0-2 count, and he sends a line drive to the left, and that will fall in, and the White Sox are going to have a 2-out single as well to keep the inning alive. So that'll bring in the newly acquired Max Muncy, 0-2 count, and he chases the ball in the zone. Victor Reyes has to run a long ways, but he's going to camp under that for out number 3 to end the first inning. On to the bottom of the 3rd, Matt Manning's having a pretty good showing here as he starts off against Danny Mendick, and he is going to get him to pop out to left center as Robbie Grossman makes a long run for out number 1. Next up, D. Strange Gordon stands in again, and he is going to send a liner to center field. That will drop in, and he's going to have himself a single here in the bottom of the 3rd. Next up, Adam Eaton, 2-2 count, and do we get our double play here? Fielded onto second, onto first. No, Adam Eaton beats out the play, and we still have 2 outs though as Abreu stands in the bat, and he's going to send an easy ground ball to second base, fielded by Scope onto first, and that will end the 3rd. So on to the top of the 4th, Nelson Cruz stands in again with 1 out, and he sends a ball to deep right center, and that doesn't have enough to get out of here, but it's going to bang off the wall. Cruz is hustling for second, and he's going to get in there before the throw to get himself a double. Now, Ramos in perfect RBI opportunity, but he is going to swing through strike 3 for out number 2 as that's fielded and thrown down to first. Now, Jonathan Scope is our last chance to drive in this run, and he's going to send a ball to left center. That's going to get down, and Nelson Cruz is going to round third and get home to give the Tigers an early 1-0 lead. Now, Nunez up to bat, still in the fourth with 2 outs. And he's a guy we're looking for something for still here, but he's going to send a ball to deep left center, and that is going to get out. Nunez is going to hit a 2-run home run, his first of the year, 402 feet to give the Tigers an early 3-0 lead. That's what we want to see from him. Now on to the top of the fifth, Montez is going to lead off. He's going to send a little blooper out to left, but that's going to get down and all the way to the wall as Montez is going to start the fifth off with a double to get himself in scoring position. So that'll bring up Robbie Grossman, and he has an 0-2 count, and he is going to get hit here. So that's going to put 2 men on with no outs, and the manager has seen enough of his rookie as he goes to his bullpen. So that'll bring in Cody Hewer, and Victor Reyes will be in to face him, and he is going to lay down a bunt, and the runners are going to advance to second and third, but the third baseman was not expecting it, and he cannot make the play. Everyone is safe, and the bases are loaded with no outs. Which brings up Willie Castro, and he sends a ball back to the pitcher, who throws on to home, throws on to first, and that is a disastrous double play as a runner does not score, and we have 2 outs. Nelson Cruz will stand in for his first RBI chance with the Tigers, and he sends a line drive to second, and that'll be caught for out number 3, and no runs will score. So on to the bottom of the fifth, Yasmani Grandal stands in, and he sends a ball deep to center field, but that one just doesn't have quite enough. Victor Reyes will range back and catch it for out number 1. Next up, Luis Robert with a 1-2 count, and he gets frozen for strike 3 and out number 2. Now, Danny Mendick will stand in, 0-1 count, and he sends a ball to left field, but that will be camped underneath by Grossman, and the 5th inning will end. So, on to the bottom of the 7th, and Gerson Moreno is going to make his debut here, and the first person he faces is Eloy Jimenez, and he gets him to ground out to the only person on the right side of the infield, and Nunez for out number 1. Now, Yoan Moncada stands in, and he sends a hard ball to short. That's fielded on the hop by Castro on to first for out number 2. Now, Grandal is back in, and he sends a ball to center field. We have a shift on because he was hitting lefty, but the ball's way in the air. Victor Reyes is easily ranges over to end the 7th. On to the bottom of the 8th, Joe Jimenez is in to pitch, and he gets swing through on for out number 1. Danny Mendick sends in, same thing, swings through out number 2. Lineup flips over as Strange Gordon stands in again, 1-0 count, and he's going to send an easy fly ball to foul territory, and that ends the 8th. So we're going to jump to the bottom of the 9th after we were not able to add any insurance runs, and Soto is going to face Adam Eaton to start the inning, and he's going to line out to first for a quick out number 1. That'll bring up Jose Abreu, and he is 2 for 3 on the day, and oh no, that is just, you could tell it was a mistake pitch. That was supposed to be down and away. That was right in the upper part of the zone, and that gets out of here as the White Sox get within 1 on that swing of the bat. So Max Muncy will follow that with a 1-2 count, and he gets frozen for strike 3 for out number 2. So Eloy Jimenez is going to stand in next. He has a full count here, and he's going to single through the left side of the infield, and that's going to keep the inning alive, and that's going to bring up Yoan Moncada as the tying run, but he is just going to break his bat, and that's going to be easy pop out to first. The Tigers take this game and the series with a 3-1 victory. So Matt Manning gets player of the game, and he picks up the win, going 6 innings, 4 hits, 2 strikeouts. I would have liked to have him pitch into the 7th, but he just doesn't have the stamina for that yet, and there's no reason to put that strain on his arm. And Nunez, 1 for 4 with a home run, 2 RBIs, and Nelson Cruz went 2 for 4 with a double. So that's a pretty good start to his Tigers career. So that's going to do it in this episode. I think this pickup of Nelson Cruz is going to pay a lot of dividends for us. I really like it. As you can see, we're 4-1 to start the year. That's not bad start. Hopefully our offense can continue to do what it's doing. And I think next episode we are going to look at Anthony Desclafani, our off-season acquisition, or off-season signing, I should say, and we'll see what we get with him, or we got with him. But like I said, that'll do it in this episode. Let me know what you guys think. Let me guys know what you think about the Nelson Cruz again, and we will see you next time here on Cardboard Cutouts.